Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Grace, and this is my second review of my Misfit produce box. So, Misfit Market is a subscription box of produce that is deemed unusable by grocery stores for whatever reason. That's actually a very common thing in grocery stores, is they do not accept imperfect foods. So there's another box very similar to this called Imperfect Produce, and the last time I checked when I was interested in ordering one of these boxes, they did not ship to my zip code. I was interested though in this concept because they will take produce that grocery stores will not take because they're not perfect. You know, the average consumer that goes to a grocery store, you sit there and you feel the produce and you see if it's firm and if it's, you know, the biggest size and the best color. Of course, you're paying for this produce. You're going to obviously pay for your money's worth. The problem is because the grocery stores have gotten that way, they will turn down produce that is still perfectly good. It's still ripe. It's still usable. It has the same nutrients, but maybe it's kind of wonky shaped. It's not symmetrical. There's a blemish on it from when it had weird sun issue, you know, something, and the coloring is strange on one part. Anything like that, those produce items will get thrown away. And so boxes like this, and Misfit Market in particular for today's video, their goal is to reduce food waste. And to not have perfectly good food that somebody could eat be thrown away. And it's really sad to think about all the people in the world that would look at the food that comes in this box as just a feast and nutrients that they couldn't get if they wanted to. So I like the idea of trying to limit food waste and at least use what we have, use what's grown. Okay, so let's get into what I have in my box this week. I do have the smaller size box. They come in two different sizes, I believe, the smaller and the larger. You can customize how often you want to receive your box, either weekly or bi-weekly, so twice a month. You can also pause shipments, and I've definitely done that when I know that I've been traveling or I have enough food in the fridge already. And you can pause it and say, hey, don't send me a box and don't charge me for a box this week. Okay, so let's dive into my box. I am going to be reading off my phone to see exactly the names of all of these produce items. Okay, so first I got baby broccoli. So I did choose every item that's in this box out of a list of possible options. So that's perfect. I'll just kind of blanch that, maybe saute it. Easy. I think some people maybe call this broccolini, but I don't know the difference between how it makes baby broccoli versus the big heads of broccoli that we see. I've never grown broccoli myself, so I don't know, but I love broccoli and I will definitely eat that. Next, I got grapefruit. And the nice thing about this box is they use things that are in season because that's what's being grown locally here in the US and maybe in the surrounding countries. I try to buy seasonally. It's better for the ecosystem if you will buy what's in season, because then you're not having to ship produce from South America and tropical areas for things that, you know, you could eat other fruits. So maybe strawberries aren't in season in February because we're in February right now. But grapefruit is, wintertime is good for citrus fruits. So one grapefruit. Next, this was kind of strange. I requested bunched arugula, and I think it was supposed to be tied. Every time I've gotten greens like this, they're normally tied. I think they just, I don't know, somehow maybe they came untied in the box. So it's just all these loose leaves of arugula. That's fine, I'll use it. So I think tonight and tomorrow I may try to make a salad because I have some other greens here that you see. Arugula is really good on pizza, so that would be a good option. It's difficult, it can be a little difficult with the greens because I have to use them very quickly because they are a little wilted by the time I get them. That might be a reason why they weren't chosen. I think this one is just kind of an odd shape. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. This is some romaine lettuce. I think it's kind of an odd shape. It's got like a weird kind of pointy end right here. So they're good if I'll eat them today or tomorrow at the latest. That's the only caveat about ordering greens from them. Those arugulas, that arugula, I can use in a few different ways. I just have to act quickly. So here next is this mixed head lettuce. So romaine lettuce, basically, I believe is the exact same thing. Next is this spaghetti squash, and it's got the label for organic spaghetti squash. All of the produce in the Misfits Market box is organic, so that kind of explains the price a little bit as well. Then next I got collard greens. I don't like cooked collard greens very much. We eat those a lot in the South. You know, you'll boil them down with like a ham hock or something. I'm vegetarian, so I would have to use something other than a ham hock to flavor the collards, and they're just not my favorite, the cooked collard greens. However, I have seen and I've been wanting to try using them as wraps. So, you know, you make some filling in just the same way you would wrap up a bread sandwich wrap. You use the collards. So I'm going to hopefully try that very soon. These seem like they will keep in the fridge a few days longer than these other lettuces. Okay, next is this Granny Smith apple. I really don't know why this wasn't chosen. It's got a little bit of scarring right here where it got scratched at some point and the fruit scarred over. I wouldn't mind that though if I saw that in the store. So that's an example of something that I don't understand, that this could be thrown away if this was not sold to some produce box like this, or maybe they would give it to a food bank. I would hope that they would. If this was not sold to a box like this, I would hope that all of these foods would be given to a food bank. But I think sometimes there's even too much to do that. And then they're also, of course, not getting profits. Next, I got 2 yellow onions, and I kind of see, I mean, the outside, there's some brown spots on the outside, but I really think that that's just the skin. I don't think there's anything wrong with the onion underneath. I almost always order onions from the box because I can always use them. This guy's really small, so that's probably why he didn't get chosen to go to a grocery store. But that's fine, because a lot of times when I get the massive onions that you see at the grocery store, first of all, those are not organic and non-GMO, which is probably why they're so massive. But also, I can't use a whole onion in a recipe. It's going to call for half an onion or 1 small onion. I'm not going to need all of that, and it ends up going in a baggie in my fridge and going bad. So these are fine for me. Okay, and of course, obviously, onions will keep in my fridge for a really long time, so that's a great purchase. I try to almost, I think every subscription in the box I've gotten so far, I've chosen onions to come in. Another one that I often will choose to get in my produce box is potatoes, because again, they're going to keep in my fridge for much longer than these greens will. So these are all the potatoes that I got in this box. I got 4. Let me see if they're all the same type. No, I ordered yellow potatoes, so it looks like I got 3 yellow potatoes. This guy is massive for a yellow potato. I'll probably make potato soup with all of these. And then 1 little baby russet potato. And so I see again why this wasn't chosen for the grocery store, because usually when we think russet potatoes, we think baking potatoes. And nobody's going to order this as a baked potato at a restaurant. And so that's fine. I can easily cook all of these potatoes into mashed potatoes or potato soup. There's a potato soup recipe that I love that is vegan, plant-based, so good. And then same as the grapefruit, it is the season for citrus. So I got 1 orange. This is a nice hefty orange. So that's a perfect, easy snack. So I've got 3 fruits to eat for a snack this week to keep me away from possibly chips or other unhealthy things. Fruit is one thing that sometimes, especially this season in the winter, sometimes I'll just forget to buy. You know, you go to the grocery store, there's not as many options. The options that they do have, melons and other summer, you know, berries, they don't look good, and there's a reason for that. It's because they're not in season, and those things have been shipped from very far away. All right, so last are these scallions or green onions, whichever you choose to call them. Even Misfit called them, the website called them scallions, and here on the tag it says organic green onions. I use these like crazy. I love to stir fry these. I'll throw them in some soup, or really just whatever I'm doing. I'll kind of use them. I'll use the whites down here wherever I would use onion, and then I love the greens of green onions stir fried. Okay, that is it for my Misfit box of this week. Just so you guys know, I'm filming this on Sunday, February 7th. This box got to my house on Friday, February 5th. It actually was supposed to come one day earlier, and it was delayed. I've never had that happen so far. So at this point, just that gives you an idea that the greens probably were a little bit fresher when they were shipped out to me, because I was supposed to receive my box on Thursday. So I don't know if that means it was already boxed at that point, and then it just sat like in a warehouse or something. And then it got to me Friday night, and I've had such a busy weekend. I have not had a chance to pull this out and cook with it yet. So that's why some of these greens are starting to look a little sad. So I'm gonna hurry and eat them. That'll take care of that problem. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. If you subscribe to Misfit or Imperfect Produce or any of those produce boxes like that, let me know what you got in your box this most recently. I'd be very interested to see. If you want to see more unboxing videos from Misfit, probably from now on I won't describe what the box is, because this is my second video now that I've given a little bit of intro about what Misfit is. So I will probably just reference these videos from now on and just dive in so that we can make them short, sweet, to the point, see what veggies I got, move on. Alright, thank you guys so much. Like this video, please, if you did like it, and I will see you next time. Bye!